If you're waiting for rates to crash, prices to collapse, or Boise to suddenly stop growing, this might surprise you. The Federal Reserve just signaled a pause on further rate cuts in 2026. Boise new construction prices quietly softened. Idaho ranked number 6 in the nation for inbound moves, and Ada County just closed the year with one of the strongest new home absorption rates we've ever seen all year. Today, I'm breaking down what actually happened in December, what matters going into early 2026, and how buyers and sellers should be thinking strategically, not emotionally, in the market. Section 1, interest rates. Let's start at the top. We have interest rates. The Federal Reserve met in December and did what the Federal Reserve does best. They talked. A lot. And then they moved very slowly. But the interesting part wasn't the cut, it was the tone. Several policymakers suggested that after this move, it might make sense to do nothing for a while, which honestly is very on brand. At the December meeting, the Federal Reserve approved a quarter-point rate cut, bringing the federal funds rate to 3.5 to 3.75% range. According to the newest released meeting minutes, several Fed participants indicated it might be appropriate to keep rates unchanged for some time in 2026, even after this most recent cut. Markets are already pricing that in. The next Fed meeting is January 28th, and the prediction markets currently show about an 86% probability that rates stay exactly where they are. So if you're waiting for some dramatic rates are back moment, this probably isn't the year. What we do have is stability. And in real estate, stability is underrated. Section 2, Ada County Housing Snapshot. Now let's talk real estate reality on the ground. So median sales price in Ada County, the overall median sales price in December was $525,000. That's down 0.9% year over year and 6.6% month over month. But here's the nuance most headlines miss. Resale homes actually saw a slight year over year increase. New construction prices declined more sharply, especially in CUNA, Meridian, and Star, which accounted for 77% all new home sales. This wasn't a crash, it was builders adjusting pricing to meet buyers' expectations. Homes sold. A total of 691 homes closed in December, with 286 new homes, 405 resale homes. New construction made up 41% of all sales, the highest monthly share of new homes sold in all of 2025. That's a major signal. Section 3, pending sales and inventory. Pending sales tell us where the market is going, not where it's been. So in December, there was 901 homes pending, and 62% of those were new construction. Of those pending homes, 40% of new builds are in Meridian, 44% are scheduled to close in January 2026. Inventory declined month over month to 1,596 homes, bringing the market to 2.2 months of supply. That's still a seller-leaning market, but here's the nuance. 53% of homes added to inventory in December were new builds, and 64% of homes sitting over 50 days were new construction. That's where negotiation power lives. Section 4, employment and economic context. Zooming out for a moment, southwestern Idaho continues to outperform the rest of the state economically. The region's labor force grew 1.2% year over year compared to 0.1% statewide. Employment growth is keeping pace with that increase, with 5,266 more people employed than a year ago. Unemployment rose slightly in the region, which is common during periods of in-migration. When people relocate, there's often a lag between arriving and starting work, especially with longer hiring and background check processes. So bottom line, jobs are keeping up with growth, and that matters. Section 5, growth you can see. Growth across Treasure Valley isn't abstract right now. It's showing up in infrastructure, housing, and healthcare. And each of these tells us something different about where the region is headed. So Denton Apartments on the Boise bench. Boise recently hosted a ribbon cutting for Denton Apartments, a 190-unit, 4-story community on the Boise bench. And here's why that matters. The project includes 19 units dedicated to families experiencing homelessness in partnership with Our Path Home. The remaining 171 units serve residents ending up in the 80% of the area median income. That's individuals earning roughly $59,950 or less, or a family of 4 earning $85,600 or less. Funding included $6.7 million for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, along with private and state partners. This is a signal that Boise is actively investing in workforce and transitional housing, not just luxury or entry-level development. Location matters too. Being near St. Alphonsus Regional Medical Center retail corridors, and transit reduces commuting costs, which is increasingly important as affordability conversations shift from just price to total monthly cost of living. For buyers and investors, this tells us Boise is planning for population stability, not just growth. Rental demand near medical and employment hubs remains strong. Zoning and funding priorities are aligning around density where it makes sense. Healthcare expansion, Caldwell and the West Valley. So St. Alphonsus also opened a 60,000 square foot health plaza in Caldwell, housing 30 physicians across more than 15 specialties. This is a primary care, not emergency care, which is an important distinction. It complements West Valley Medical Center rather than competing with it, and it reflects something very specific about growth patterns. Caldwell's population has grown 20.3% since 2020, adding over 12,000 residents and ranking number 51 nationally for total population growth. Healthcare expansion tends to lag population growth, so when you see facilities like this come online, it's confirmation that growth is sticking, not temporary. For housing, this supports long-term demand in the West Valley, stable employment sectors, continued residential development following services, not preceding them. Infrastructure funding, quiet but critical. Southwestern Idaho also received approximately $4.3 million in state-approved water and infrastructure grants, supporting irrigation districts, canal companies, conservation districts, and municipalities. This isn't flashy, but it's foundational. Water infrastructure is one of the biggest constraints on future development in Idaho. Continued investment here tells us growth is being supported at the system level, existing communities are being reinforced, not stretched thin, long-term development approval remains viable. In real estate, infrastructure spending is often the early signal, not the headline. Migration and construction cost pressure. Idaho ranked number 6 in the nation in inbound moves in 2025, according to United Van Lines. That demand hasn't disappeared, but builders are navigating new challenges. Realtor.com highlighted tariffs as one of the top real estate impacts of 2025, adding an estimated $9,200 per home due to higher costs for lumber, steel, drywall, appliances, countertops, some taxed up to 54%. In fast-growing states like Idaho, that's led to price adjustments, incentives instead of price cuts, selective project delays, which brings us full circle. So what does this all mean for you? This is not a market for passive decision-making. Buyers who understand builder incentives, rate strategy, and inventory pockets are finding real leverage, especially in new construction. Sellers who price with intention and understand today's buyer psychology are still moving homes, but the margin for error is thinner. If you're relocating to Boise or planning to move this year, I've linked some amazing resources below that walk you through this market strategically, not emotionally. You can grab my relocation guide if you want to dive deeper into understanding the city, events, and what makes each area unique. You can also grab my 48-hour Boise scouting guide. This comes with a whole Google map of all my favorite restaurants and businesses, things to check out if you plan on visiting Boise this year to see if it's a place where you want to live. Those plus more are linked below. They're practical, data-driven, and built to help you make decisions with clarity, whether you're just moving or you're planning ahead. And yes, the market will still be here next month. We'll talk again.